In this world, there are two types of people: those who wait for others to make things happen for them, and those who make things happen for themselves. The first group is always looking for the easy way out, for someone to hold their hand, for circumstances to be perfect before they take action. But the second group, they understand that true success, true growth, true fulfillment comes from embracing the challenge, from doing the hard work, from pushing through when everyone else gives up. Let me ask you this: how many times have you put off pursuing your dreams because you were waiting for the right time or the right support? How often have you told yourself, I'll start my business when I have more experience, or I'll write that book when I have more time, or I'll get in shape when I find the perfect workout partner? These are all excuses, my friends. They're ways of avoiding the hard work, the discomfort, the challenge that comes with pursuing your goals. But here's the truth: it's supposed to be hard. If it were easy, everyone would do it. The very fact that it's difficult is what makes it worthwhile. It's what separates the achievers from the dreamers, the doers from the talkers. Now, doing it alone doesn't mean you never seek advice or learn from others. It means you take full ownership of your journey. You don't wait for permission. You don't wait for perfect conditions. You start where you are with what you have, and you keep pushing forward day after day, regardless of whether anyone else believes in you or supports you. Think about any great achievement in history. Do you think it was easy? Do you think it happened overnight? Of course not. It was the result of someone or a small group of people who were willing to do the hard work, to face the challenges, to push through the doubts and fears often against all odds. Take Thomas Edison, for example. Do you think he invented the light bulb on his first try? No, it took him over 1,000 attempts. Can you imagine failing 1,000 times? Most people would have given up after the 10th try, let alone the 100th or the 500th. But Edison understood something crucial. He said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. He embraced the difficulty, the solitude of his pursuit. He understood that it was supposed to be hard. Or consider Abraham Lincoln. Before he became one of the greatest presidents in American history, he faced numerous setbacks and failures. He lost 8 elections, failed in business twice, and suffered a nervous breakdown. But did he give up? Did he wait for someone to make things easier for him? No, he persevered. He did the hard work. He embraced the challenge. You see, success is not about avoiding difficulties. It's about developing the strength to embrace them, to learn from them, to grow through them. And that strength is developed in solitude, in those moments with you're alone with your thoughts, your fears, your doubts, and you choose to push forward anyway. Now, let's talk about why it's so important to embrace the difficulty, to do it alone. First and foremost, it builds character. When you rely on yourself, when you face challenges head on, you develop resilience, perseverance, and self-reliance. These are qualities that will serve you well in every area of your life. Think about it. When you overcome a difficult challenge on your own, how do you feel? Empowered, right? Confident, capable. That feeling of accomplishment, of knowing that you did something hard and you did it by yourself, is incredibly powerful. It changes the way you see yourself. It expands your sense of what's possible. Moreover, when you do it alone, you develop problem-solving skills. You become resourceful. You learn to think creatively, to find solutions where others see only obstacles. This ability to navigate challenges, to figure things out on your own, is invaluable in today's rapidly changing world. But here's the thing: most people avoid difficulty. They shy away from challenges. They look for the easy way out. And in doing so, they rob themselves of the opportunity to grow, to become stronger, to develop the very qualities that lead to success. You see, difficulty is nature's way of strengthening us. It's like exercise for our character, our mind, our spirit. Just as your muscles grow stronger when you push them to their limits, your character grows stronger when you face difficulties head on. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking: Jim, this sounds hard. This sounds uncomfortable. This sounds lonely. And you're right. It is hard. It is uncomfortable. It can be lonely at times. But let me ask you this: what's the alternative? The alternative is a life of mediocrity, a life where you never reach your full potential. A life where you're always dependent on others, always waiting for the perfect conditions, always making excuses. Is that really what you want? I don't think so. I think you're here because you want more. You want to squeeze every ounce of potential out of yourself. You want to live a life of purpose, of achievement, of growth. And to do that, you need to embrace the difficulty. You need to be willing to do it alone. Now, let's talk about some practical strategies for embracing this mindset of doing it alone and understanding that it's supposed to be hard. The first strategy is to set clear, challenging goals for yourself. Not easy goals. Not comfortable goals, but goals that stretch you, that push you out of your comfort zone. You see, when your goals are easy, you don't grow. You don't develop new skills. You don't expand your capabilities, but when your goals are challenging, when they require you to become more than you currently are, that's when real growth happens. So, take some time to really think about what you want to achieve. Don't just set goals based on what you think is possible. Set goals based on what you truly desire, even if they seem difficult or even impossible right now. Remember, the purpose of a goal is not just to achieve it, but to become the kind of person who can achieve it. The second strategy is to develop a strong work ethic. You see, when you're doing it alone, when you're embracing the difficulty, you can't rely on motivation or inspiration. Those things are fleeting, they come and go. What you need is discipline. You need the ability to show up and do the work day after day regardless of how you feel. This means developing routines and habits that support your goals. It means getting up early when you'd rather sleep in. It means working on your dreams even when you're tired. It means pushing through the discomfort, the doubt, the fear. Remember, success is not about doing extraordinary things. It's about doing ordinary things consistently over a long period of time. It's about showing up day after day and putting in the work even when no one is watching, even when you don't feel like it. The third strategy is to embrace failure as a learning opportunity. You see, when you're doing it alone, when you're pushing your limits, you're going to fail. It's inevitable. But here's the thing, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become better. The most successful people in the world are not those who never fail. There are those who fail often but learn quickly. There are those who see failure not as a reflection of their worth, but as feedback on their approach. So don't be afraid of failure. Embrace it. Learn from it. Use it as fuel to push you forward. Remember, every time you fail, you're one step closer to success. You've eliminated one way that doesn't work, which brings you closer to the way that does. The fourth strategy is to develop mental toughness. You see, when you're doing it alone, when you're embracing the difficulty, you're going to face obstacles. You're going to face setbacks. You're going to face moments of doubt and fear. And in those moments, it's your mental toughness that will see you through. Mental toughness is the ability to persist in the face of challenges. It's the ability to keep going when everything in you wants to give up. It's the ability to maintain your focus and your commitment to your goals, even when things get hard. So how do you develop mental toughness? Well, it starts with your self-talk. Pay attention to the voice in your head. When things get tough, is it telling you to give up? Is it telling you that you're not good enough? If so, it's time to change that narrative. Develop a positive, empowering inner dialogue. When things get tough, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of your goals, your dreams, your vision for your life. Use affirmations to reinforce your commitment and your belief in yourself. Remember, your mind is like a garden. What you plant there will grow. So plant seeds of strength, of resilience, of perseverance. Feed your mind with positive, empowering thoughts and watch as your mental toughness grows. The fifth strategy is to embrace discomfort. You see, growth happens outside of your comfort zone. If you're always comfortable, you're not growing. You're not challenging yourself. You're not becoming more than you are. So make it a habit to do things that make you uncomfortable. Take on challenges that scare you a little. Push yourself beyond what you think you're capable of. Remember, on the other side of your fear is your freedom. On the other side of discomfort is growth. Now, let's talk about another crucial aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty, taking full responsibility for your life. You see, when you're doing it alone, there's no one else to blame. There's no one else to make excuses for you. It's all on you. And that's a good thing, because when you take full responsibility for your life, you take full control of your life. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the creator of your circumstances. This means no more blaming others for your problems, no more making excuses, no more waiting for someone else to fix things for you. It means looking at every situation in your life and asking yourself, what can I do about this? How can I make this better? Taking responsibility is empowering. It puts you in the driver's seat of your life. It allows you to shape your destiny rather than being at the mercy of external forces. Now, I know this can be scary. It's much easier to blame others, to make excuses, to play the victim. But ask yourself this, has that approach ever really worked? Has it ever really made your life better? The truth is, as long as you're blaming others or making excuses, you're giving away your power. You're saying, I'm not in control of my life. My success, my happiness, my fulfillment depends on others or on circumstances beyond my control. But when you take responsibility, you take back that power. You're saying, I am in control of my life. My success, my happiness, my fulfillment depends on me and the choices I make. This shift in mindset is crucial because once you take responsibility, once you embrace the fact that it's all on you, you stop waiting for things to change and start making things change. Now, let's talk about another important aspect of doing it alone, embracing the difficulty, developing self-reliance. You see, when you're doing it alone, you can't always rely on others for help or support. You need to develop the ability to solve problems on your own, to figure things out, to push through challenges. This doesn't mean you never ask for help or advice. It means you develop the confidence and the capability to handle things on your own when necessary. It means you become resourceful, adaptable, and resilient. Self-reliance is a crucial skill in today's world. Things are changing faster than ever before. Industries are being disrupted. Jobs are becoming obsolete. The ability to adapt, to learn new skills, to solve new problems, these are the skills that will determine your success in the future. So how do you develop self-reliance? Well, it starts with pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Take on challenges that you're not sure you can handle. Put yourself in situations where you have to figure things out on your own. When you face a problem, resist the urge to immediately ask for help. Instead, challenge yourself to find a solution on your own. Use the resources available to you, books, online courses, tutorials. Experiment. Try different approaches. Yes, it might take longer. Yes, it might be frustrating at times. But the skills and confidence you'll develop in the process are invaluable. Remember, every time you solve a problem on your own, every time you overcome a challenge without relying on others, you're building your self-reliance muscle. You're becoming stronger, more capable, more confident. Now let's talk about another crucial aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty, developing a growth mindset. You see, when you're facing challenges on your own, when you're pushing through difficulties, your mindset makes all the difference. A fixed mindset says, I can't do this, it's too hard, I don't have what it takes. But a growth mindset says, this is challenging, but I can learn, I can improve, I can figure this out. People with a fixed mindset avoid challenges, give up easily, see effort as fruitless, ignore useful feedback, and feel threatened by others' success. But people with a growth mindset embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, see effort as the path to mastery, learn from criticism, and find lessons and inspiration in others' success. Developing a growth mindset is crucial when you're doing it alone because it allows you to see difficulties not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth. It allows you to embrace the challenge, to see the hard work as part of the journey, not an obstacle to it. So how do you develop a growth mindset? Well, it starts with being aware of your thoughts. When you face a challenge, pay attention to your inner dialogue. Are you telling yourself, I can't do this? Or are you asking yourself, how can I do this? Challenge your fixed mindset thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good at this, add the word yet to the end. I'm not good at this yet. This simple change acknowledges that with effort and practice you can improve. Embrace challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. When something is difficult, instead of getting frustrated, get curious. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger, smarter, more capable? Celebrate effort, not just results. Remember, the process is just as important as the outcome. Every time you push through a difficulty, Every time you persist in the face of a challenge, you're growing. You're becoming more than you were before. Now, let's talk about another important aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty, developing discipline. You see, when you're on your own, when you're facing challenges, you can't rely on motivation or inspiration. Those things are fleeting. They come and go. What you need is discipline. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It's the ability to show up day after day and put in the work, even when it's hard, even when you don't see immediate results. Discipline is what bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It's what turns your goals into reality. It's what takes your dreams and turns them into achievements. So how do you develop discipline? Well, it starts with setting clear goals and creating a plan to achieve them. Break your big goals down into smaller, manageable tasks. Create a schedule for yourself. Commit to doing certain things every day, every week, every month that move you closer to your goals. Then it's about following through on your commitments to yourself. It's about doing what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it. It's about pushing through the resistance, the discomfort, the desire to take the easy way out. Remember, discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you follow through on a commitment, every time you do what needs to be done, despite not feeling like it, you're strengthening your discipline muscle. Now, let's talk about another crucial aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty, managing your time effectively. You see, when you're on your own, when you're taking full responsibility for your life and your goals, how you use your time becomes incredibly important. Time is your most valuable resource. It's the one thing you can never get back. And when you're doing it alone, it's up to you to make the most of every minute, every hour, every day. This means being intentional about how you spend your time. It means prioritizing your activities based on their importance, not just their urgency. It means learning to say no to things that don't align with your goals or values. Effective time management starts with having a clear vision of what you want to achieve. Once you know where you're going, you can align your daily activities with your long-term goals. You can focus on the things that truly matter, rather than getting caught up in busy work or distractions. One powerful technique for managing your time is the Eisenhower matrix. This involves categorizing your tasks into 4 quadrants based on their urgency and importance. The goal is to spend most of your time on important but not urgent tasks, things like planning, prevention, relationship building, and personal development. These are the activities that move you toward your goals and help you grow. Another effective technique is time blocking. This involves scheduling specific blocks of time for different activities. For example, you might set aside 2 hours each morning for your most important work, an hour in the afternoon for responding to emails, and an hour in the evening for planning the next day. The key is to be proactive rather than reactive with your time. Don't let others' priorities dictate how you spend your day. Take control of your schedule. Guard your time fiercely. Remember, every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Make sure you're saying yes to the things that truly matter. Now, let's talk about another crucial aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty, developing resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep going when things get tough. And when you're doing it alone, when you're facing challenges head-on, resilience is absolutely essential. You see, when you're pushing yourself, when you're stepping out of your comfort zone, you're going to face setbacks. You're going to face failures. You're going to face moments of doubt and discouragement. That's just part of the journey. The question is, how do you respond to these challenges? Resilient people see setbacks as temporary and specific. They don't let failure in one area bleed over into other areas of their life. They maintain a sense of perspective, understanding that setbacks are a normal part of growth and progress. So how do you develop resilience? Well, it starts with your mindset. Instead of seeing challenges as threats, try to see them as opportunities. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? Practice reframing negative situations. Look for the silver lining, the opportunity within the challenge. This doesn't mean ignoring the reality of difficult situations. It means choosing to focus on what you can control and what you can learn rather than dwelling on the negative. Another key to developing resilience is to build a strong support system. Yes, we're talking about doing it alone, about taking full responsibility for your life. But that doesn't mean you have to be isolated. Surround yourself with positive, supportive people who believe in you and your goals. These relationships can provide encouragement and perspective when things get tough. Also, take care of yourself physically and mentally. Exercise regularly. Eat a healthy diet. Get enough sleep. Practice stress management techniques like meditation or deep breathing. Remember, resilience isn't just mental, it's physical too. When you're taking care of your body, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges. Now let's talk about another important aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty: continuous learning. You see, when you're on your own, when you're pushing yourself to grow and achieve, you need to be constantly learning, constantly improving. The world is changing faster than ever before. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. The skills that are valuable today might be obsolete in a few years. To stay ahead, to keep growing, you need to be a lifelong learner. This means being curious. It means being open to new ideas, new perspectives, new ways of doing things. It means never assuming you know everything, but always being eager to learn more. Make learning a daily habit. Read books, take courses, attend seminars, seek out mentors. Learn from your experiences, your successes, and especially your failures. Remember, every experience is an opportunity to learn if you have the right mindset. And don't just focus on learning within your field. Be interdisciplinary. Some of the most innovative ideas come from applying concepts from one field to another. The broader your knowledge base, the more creative and adaptable you'll be. Now, let's talk about another crucial aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty: developing emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions, as well as recognize and influence the emotions of others. And when you're on your own, facing challenges, this skill becomes incredibly important. You see, when you're doing it alone, when you're pushing yourself, you're going to experience a wide range of emotions. There will be moments of excitement and enthusiasm, but there will also be moments of fear, doubt, frustration, and disappointment. Your ability to navigate these emotions, to not let them derail you, is crucial to your success. Emotional intelligence starts with self-awareness. Pay attention to your emotions. Learn to recognize what you're feeling and why. Don't judge your emotions as good or bad. They're just information. The key is to learn from them rather than be controlled by them. Practice self-regulation. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions, but rather managing them effectively. When you feel angry or frustrated, take a step back. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this emotion helping me or hindering me right now? How can I respond in a way that aligns with my goals? Develop empathy even as you're doing it alone. Understand that everyone is fighting their own battles. This perspective can help you stay grounded and compassionate even when you're focused on your own journey. Now, let's talk about another important aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty: maintaining a positive attitude. You see, when you're on your own, when you're facing challenges, your attitude can make all the difference. A positive attitude doesn't mean ignoring difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to focus on opportunities rather than obstacles, on solutions rather than problems. It means believing in yourself and your ability to overcome challenges. Maintaining a positive attitude starts with being mindful of your thoughts. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. Are you constantly criticizing yourself? Are you focusing on what could go wrong? If so, it's time to change that narrative. Practice gratitude. Every day, take a few moments to think about what you're grateful for. This simple practice can shift your focus from what's wrong to what's right, from what you lack to what you have. Surround yourself with positivity. Read inspiring books, listen to uplifting podcasts. Spend time with people who encourage and support you. Remember, positivity is contagious. The more you surround yourself with it, the more it becomes a part of you. Now let's talk about another crucial aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty: setting boundaries. When you're on your own, when you're taking full responsibility for your life and your goals, it's essential to set clear boundaries with others and with yourself. Boundaries with others might mean learning to say no to requests or invitations that don't align with your goals. It might mean limiting time with people who drain your energy or undermine your efforts. Remember, your time and energy are precious resources. Guard them carefully. Boundaries with yourself are equally important. This might mean setting limits on how much time you spend on social media or watching TV. It might mean committing to a specific sleep schedule to ensure you're well rested. It might mean setting rules for yourself about when and how you work on your goals. Setting and maintaining boundaries isn't always easy. It can feel uncomfortable, especially at first. But it's a crucial skill for anyone who's serious about achieving their goals and living life on their own terms. Now, let's talk about another important aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty, cultivating patience. In today's world of instant gratification, patience can seem like an outdated virtue. But when you're on your own, when you're working towards big goals, patience becomes absolutely essential. You see, real change, real growth, real achievement, these things take time. They don't happen overnight. There will be periods where you're putting in the work but not seeing immediate results. During these times, patience is what will keep you going. Cultivating patience starts with understanding that progress isn't always linear. There will be ups and downs, periods of rapid growth and periods of apparent stagnation. The key is to trust the process, to keep putting in the work even when you're not seeing immediate results. Practice delayed gratification. Train yourself to resist short-term temptations in favor of long-term rewards. This might mean saving money instead of buying something you want right now. It might mean putting in extra hours of work or study instead of relaxing. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to be patient and persistent in pursuit of your goals. Remember, patience isn't about passively waiting. It's about actively persisting. It's about continuing to take action, to learn, to grow, even when things aren't moving as quickly as you'd like. Now, let's talk about another crucial aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty, developing self-confidence. When you're on your own, when you're facing challenges, believing in yourself becomes more important than ever. Self-confidence isn't about thinking you're better than others. It's about trusting in your own abilities, in your capacity to learn and grow, and your resilience in the face of challenges. It's about knowing that no matter what life throws at you, you can handle it. Building self-confidence starts with acknowledging your strengths and your accomplishments. Take time to recognize what you're good at, what you've achieved. Keep a record of your successes, no matter how small. Look back on this record when you're facing self-doubt. Set small, achievable goals and then accomplish them. Each time you follow through on a commitment to yourself, you build trust in yourself. You prove to yourself that you can do what you set out to do. Practice positive self-talk. The way you talk to yourself matters. Instead of criticizing yourself for mistakes, treat yourself with kindness and encouragement. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to a friend. Remember, confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you build through action, through facing your fears, through persisting in the face of challenges. Now, let's talk about another important aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty, maintaining focus. In a world full of distractions, the ability to focus on what truly matters is a superpower. When you're on your own, when you're working towards big goals, it's easy to get sidetracked. There are always new opportunities, new ideas, new shiny objects competing for your attention. But success requires focus. It requires the ability to say no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones. Maintaining focus starts with clarity. Be crystal clear about what you want to achieve. Write down your goals. Review them regularly. Let them guide your decisions about how to spend your time and energy. Practice mindfulness. In a world that's constantly trying to grab your attention, the ability to be present, to focus on one thing at a time, is invaluable. Consider incorporating meditation or other mindfulness practices into your daily routine. Use tools and techniques to manage distractions. This might mean turning off notifications on your phone, using website blockers during work hours, or creating a dedicated workspace free from distractions. Remember, focus is like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. Every time you resist a distraction, every time you bring your attention back to what's important, you're strengthening your ability to focus. Now, let's talk about another crucial aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty, developing a strong work ethic. When you're on your own, when you're facing challenges, your work ethic can make all the difference. A strong work ethic isn't about working long hours or burning yourself out. It's about being reliable, being disciplined, being committed to doing your best work consistently. It's about showing up day after day and putting in the effort even when you don't feel like it. Developing a strong work ethic starts with taking pride in your work. Whatever you do, do it to the best of your ability. Don't cut corners. Don't settle for good enough. Strive for excellence in everything you do. Set high standards for yourself. Don't wait for others to push you or hold you accountable. Be your own taskmaster. Set deadlines for yourself and stick to them. Go the extra mile, not because someone is watching, but because that's who you are. Remember, your work ethic is a reflection of your character. It's a testament to your integrity, your commitment, your self-respect. When you develop a strong work ethic, you're not just improving your chances of success, you're becoming a person you can be proud of. Now let's talk about another important aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty, cultivating creativity. When you're on your own, when you're facing challenges, the ability to think creatively can be a game changer. Creativity isn't just for artists or inventors. It's a crucial skill for anyone who wants to solve problems, find new opportunities, or stand out in a crowded field. And when you're doing it alone, when you don't have others to rely on for ideas or solutions, cultivating your creativity becomes even more important. Cultivating creativity starts with curiosity. Be interested in everything. Ask questions. Explore new ideas. Look for connections between different fields or concepts. Some of the most innovative ideas come from applying principles from one field to another. Practice divergent thinking. When you're faced with a problem, don't just look for the obvious solution. Try to come up with multiple possible solutions. The more ideas you generate, the more likely you are to find a truly innovative approach. Embrace constraints. Contrary to popular belief, constraints can actually boost creativity. When resources are limited, when you have to work within certain parameters, it forces you to think more creatively. So don't see limitations as obstacles, see them as catalysts for creative thinking. Make time for play and experimentation. Creativity often flourishes when we're relaxed and having fun. So build some unstructured time into your schedule. Allow yourself to explore ideas without the pressure of immediate results. Remember, creativity is not a talent that some people have and others don't. It's a skill that can be developed and strengthened with practice. The more you exercise your creative muscles, the stronger they become. Now, let's talk about another crucial aspect of doing it alone and embracing the difficulty, developing adaptability. In today's rapidly changing world, the ability to adapt is more important than ever. When you're on your own, when you're facing challenges, things rarely go exactly as planned. Unexpected obstacles arise, circumstances change. What worked yesterday might not work today. The ability to adapt, to pivot when necessary, to thrive in the face of change, these are essential skills for success. Developing adaptability starts with embracing a growth mindset. See change not as a threat, but as an opportunity to learn and grow. Be willing to let go of old ways of thinking or doing things when they're no longer serving you. Practice flexibility in your thinking. Don't get too attached to any one idea or approach. Be open to new information, new perspectives. When faced with a challenge, try to come up with multiple possible solutions. The more options you can generate, the more adaptable you become. Cultivate resilience. Adaptability and resilience go hand in hand. The more resilient you are, the better you'll be able to bounce back from setbacks and adjust to new circumstances. Remember, it's not about avoiding failure. It's about recovering quickly and learning from the experience. Stay curious and keep learning. The more knowledge and skills you have, the more adaptable you'll be. Make continuous learning a priority. Stay up to date with trends in your field. Develop a diverse skill set. The broader your knowledge base, the more easily you'll be able to adapt to new situations. Remember, in a world of constant change, the most valuable skill is the ability to learn new skills. So embrace change, stay flexible, and never stop learning. Now, as we near the end of our time together, I want to emphasize one final crucial point. Doing it alone and embracing the difficulty is not about being isolated or rejecting all help. It's about taking full responsibility for your life and your goals. It's about being willing to do the hard work, to face the challenges, to push through when others might give up. There will be times when it's hard, There will be times when you doubt yourself, when you're tempted to take the easy way out. But remember this, every time you push through a difficulty, every time you face a fear, every time you do what's harder instead of what's easy, you're growing. You're becoming stronger, more capable, more resilient. And here's the beautiful thing, as you consistently choose to do it alone, as you embrace the difficulty, it becomes easier. What once seemed impossible becomes challenging. What once seemed challenging becomes manageable. And what once seemed manageable becomes easy. You see, we're not just talking about achieving goals or overcoming challenges. We're talking about becoming a different kind of person. We're talking about becoming someone who naturally takes responsibility, who naturally embraces challenges, who naturally strives for growth and excellence in everything they do. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of thousands of small choices made consistently over time. It's the result of choosing to get up early when you want to sleep in. It's the result of choosing to work on your goals when you're tired. It's the result of choosing to face your fears when you want to run away. But here's the thing, while this transformation takes time, it starts with a decision. A decision you can make right here, right now. A decision to no longer wait for others to make things happen for you. A decision to no longer make excuses. A decision to embrace the difficulty. To do it alone. To become the best version of yourself. So I ask you, are you ready to make that decision? Are you ready to commit to doing it alone, to embracing the difficulty? Are you ready to take full responsibility for your life and your goals? If your answer is yes, then I want you to do something right now. I want you to make a promise to yourself. A promise that from this moment forward, you will no longer wait for perfect conditions or for someone to hold your hand. A promise that you will embrace the challenges, that you will do the hard work, that you will persist when others give up. This promise is not to me. It's not to your family or friends. It's to yourself. It's a commitment to honor your potential, to respect the gifts you've been given, to make the most of this one precious life you have.